You don't see the starting time, but it's every 2 weeks. My pay stub is every 2 weeks. So it ended up September 29th. That means it's a Friday, right? From that time for 2 weeks, they pay me on October 6th. And there is a rate, right? Earnings, which is regular rate. This is per hour rate. And then how much hours that I work, 70 hours for 2 weeks. Okay, so 35 hours per week, right? And then this period of time, I got this amount of money. So my gross pay gonna be this amount, but there is a certain deductions, shows that federal tax, they take 271-ish from my gross earning, take as a tax, and there is a employment insurance and CPP. So after this deduction, my net pay, which means what actually I'm gonna take home is this amount. These are the pay stub that you will see. Okay. When you be hired and you have to have a certain training time, some people say, some employers saying that, oh, because you don't know how to work properly, we are not going to pay you. That's not right. Okay. Time spent by an employee in training that is required by the employer or by law is counted as work time. So you have a right to be paid. Okay. And there is a tricky situation as well. Your employer is not allowed to take money from your pay because they say you didn't do a good job. That's big no. Okay. It doesn't matter your performance was good or bad. If they made a contract between you and them, and say that this amount of money I'm going to pay you per hour or per week or every 2 weeks, then they have to pay regardless of your performance. Okay. And also employers cannot take tips and other gratitude to cover things like spilled food or beverages. You made a mistake. You spilled food or beverages. When you carry that to the client, they cannot take tips or, because you made a mistake, I'm not going to give you today's tips. That doesn't make sense. Even though you've broken supplies like a dishes or a glassware, they shouldn't take your tips because of that reason. And loses or damages by thief or customer, they shouldn't ask you. They're going to take a tip. So what I mean is that regardless of the situation, even though you made a mistake while you are working, of course, employers gonna not like it, but that doesn't mean that they can take your tips or gratitude. Okay, so tips and gratitude are same. That's are separated from your pay. Okay, and unless there is some kind of condition saying that when you make a contract with your employer, they cannot just casually take it because you made a mistake. I know a lot of international students, you guys want to have a part-time job like restaurants and cafe, right? And because you are not get used to do those kind of job, you can make a mistake. And a lot of employers, because you are international student, they mistreat you. There is a possibility that they're going to mistreat you. And because they think you don't know what is the law, they might say, okay, in this case, I'm going to take your tip because you just mistake the order or you broke the dishes. But you can say, oh, that's not true. Okay. And hours of work. In most of jobs, the regular workday cannot be more than 13 hours, okay? So usually, regularly, people take 7-hour or 8-hour job, like, office job, but part-time can be more than that, okay? Like 8 hours to 10 hours, or because it's day and night shift, can be 12 hours, but it couldn't exceed 13 hours on one day, okay? And the regular work week cannot be more than 48 hours, okay? 48 hours means, if you work 5, 9, if you work 9 hours per day, it's gonna be 45 hours, right? So more than 9 hours every day. So it exceeds 48 hours, then it's not lawful, okay? Breaks at work. I'm not sure whether you guys know this or not, but in most jobs, you get at least, okay? It's not the maximum. At least starting from 30 minutes off after every 5 hours of work, which means if you start work from 8:30, 9:30, 10, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. Before 1:30, you have to take at least 30 minutes of break. Okay, so in my case, if I start from 8:30 work, I take 1 hour lunch break before it becomes 5 hours. So maybe 12 or 1 hour, 1 o'clock, I take my lunch break. And then after my lunch break, I continuously work. That's by law, okay? If you agree to it, you get 2 times of 15-minute breaks instead of 1 30-minute meal break. Okay, you can make this agreement in writing or by talking to your employer. So if you prefer, take 15 minutes in the morning and in the afternoon so that you work 3 hours, take a 15-minute break, 3 hours, take another 15-minute break, and then work 2 more hours so that it's going to be 8-hour work or whatever. If suits you better, then you can recommend your employment. But usually workplaces allow you to take 30 minutes to 1 hour lunch break instead of short breaks. And if they are very nice and they consider the employers, then you get 15-minute morning break, 15-minute afternoon break, and you have another 30-minute lunch break as well. So altogether it's 1 hour. So you can take at least certain amount of breaks in between your work time to protect yourself. Okay. Overtime. Usually it's not happening quite often, but in most jobs, when you work more than 44 hours in a week, the hours above 44 hours, then it becomes overtime hours. Okay. I told you the work time shouldn't be exceed 48 hours per week, right? So here, until 44 hours, it's a regular payment. But after 44 hours, which means 45 hours, 6, 7, 8 hours, then it's going to become overtime payment. So, which means you have to be paid 1.5 payment rate on your hourly pay. So, for example, if your hourly wage, regular hourly wage is $16, and if you work until 44 hours, you get $16 per hour. But when you're 45th hour, that 1 hour, you're going to get paid $24. Okay? Because it's overtime. Okay? So if your employer asks you work more than 44 hours and they are not pay you overtime and ask you keep the regular wage, then they are doing something wrong. So you can complain, you can appeal. Okay. Here is the public holidays. So yesterday was Thanksgiving Day, right? And it was a statutory holiday, the public holiday. So I didn't work. And if you are in just a regular company employee, then you are not worked, right? So here is the 9 paid public holidays, okay? Even though you didn't go to work because it's a public holidays, supposed to be paid to the employees, you're gonna get paid and not working. It's gonna be New Year's Day, Family Day on February, and Good Friday. It depends on the calendar. It can be March or it can be April, okay? And Victoria Day on May, and Canada Day, it's August, I think, okay? And then Labor Day on September. Thanksgiving Day usually on October. Christmas Day and Boxing Day is in December. So all these 9 public holidays are supposed to be paid public holiday. Public holiday pay is the total of your previous 4 weeks earnings divided by 20. It sounds very complicated, right? But simply say, so for example, you start to work from October 2nd, last week, Monday, okay? You just started work and then Thanksgiving was yesterday. You were excited to get paid full your amount for that day because it's a public holiday. But when you get your paycheck, it was only covered half or 1/3. Oh, what happened? And then you can talk to your manager. Then your manager will say, oh, I'm sorry, but to be paid for public holidays, you have to work certain days. Because you just started to work in our company, you didn't qualify for those days. That's why we calculated how much days you work to earn public holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday pay. And then this is the amount for you. Okay. So I didn't know this. I started to work last year, October, and this example is my story, okay? I thought that I'm gonna get the full public holiday payment, but it was very little. And then I asked to my manager, I didn't complain. I asked to my manager, she said, oh, you just start work. The days are not qualified. So you just only get this amount. But next public holiday, you will get full amount. So that's 4 weeks. At least you have to work 4 weeks to earn the full public holiday, amount. Okay. If you do work on public holiday, you can agree in writing to be paid premium pay, which is 1.5 times your regular rate, like what we discussed before, and public holiday pay. Okay, because it's holiday. Everybody supposed not to work, but if you have to work, then you have to be paid public holiday pay plus your payment. Okay, so there is a people wish to work on public holidays because they get paid more than regular payment. Okay, or alternatively, you can work on the public holiday at your regular rate. Okay, you wanna get any other extra money and take another day off with public holiday pay, which means you just get regular payment today on Thanksgiving, and then you earned one free time off. Okay, it depends on your decision. Some people prefer extra time off. Some people prefer more money on that time, right? So that's two different ways. Here is vacation. After working for the same employer for 1 year, you are entitled to take off 2 weeks of paid vacation time. Okay, so this one also, you need certain period of time work in that company to earn the vacation time. Okay, that vacation time gonna be paid vacation. So even though you take 2 weeks, which means 10 days, okay, you take 10 days off from the work, but still you're gonna get the full amount of your regular paycheck. That's a vacation. Okay, after you work for the same employer for 5 years, by the law, you are entitled to take 3 weeks, which means 15 days of vacation time with your regular paid vacation money. Vacation time and vacation pay are different. Okay, even if you do not qualify for vacation time in the first year of work, or do not take your vacation time, you are still entitled to your vacation pay, which means I had a 3 months probation time when I just started work. At that time, on my paycheck, there was a small section saying that vacation pay. Okay, I didn't have a vacation time because it's my probation time. Okay, so I was not allowed to take any vacation time, which is paid. But still, each paycheck I get certain amount of money under the name of vacation pay. It was 4% of my regular paycheck. Like that, there is a regulation based on each company. Okay, so that's two different things. Okay. And let's see, even after working for 1 hour, okay, you just started today and you worked from 9 to 10, you worked only 1 hour, but still you are qualified to get the vacation pay, even though you do not earn any vacation time, but it's automatically calculated. You worked 1 hour, and if your 1 hour payment is $20, then $20 4% is your vacation pay for that 1 hour. Okay. Your vacation pay starts from 4%, like what I said, of every dollar you earned. After working for the same employer for 5 years, your vacation pay is up to 6% of every dollar you earned. You generally are paid your vacation pay when you take your vacation time. Alternatively, you may have an agreement to be paid your vacation pay on each paycheck. Okay. Termination notice and pay. What is termination? Termination means your boss can give you a notice that you are not gonna work, okay, anymore. They just fire you, okay? That's termination. But if your boss can, if you are work less than 3 months, your boss can terminate you without notice. So today I worked. Tomorrow when I come to work, the boss can call me and say, I'm sorry, Leah, you are fired. Okay. If I just started work, they can do that without any notice. I cannot complain. Oh, you should give me at least 2 weeks notice. I cannot say that because I worked less than 3 months. But after 3 months of work, your boss must give you written notice, okay, of the date you will be terminated. So boss gonna send you, okay, Leah, I'm sorry, but I have to tell you, your last day of work will be 2 weeks later, which is October 24th, Tuesday. Okay. And he has to write that notice and then send me. Okay. If you do not get noticed, you should get termination pay instead, or a combination of two. Okay. The amount of termination pay or notice you get depends on how long you have worked for your employer, up to a maximum of 8 weeks for working 8 years, which means you worked more than 3 months and you supposed to get the notice from your boss, but he didn't send you the notice. Then you can ask the termination pay. Okay, so you didn't give me the notice. You're supposed to give me a 2 weeks notice, but you didn't give me a notice for 2 weeks. Then pay me this 2 weeks payment. That's your right. Okay, so if you work longer, then your termination pay time gonna be longer. If you see here, it's 8 weeks for working 8 years. So 1 year means 1 week, right? So if you work 5 years, you can ask 5 weeks of termination pay from your boss. If you don't know this, you just lose your job and you feel awful, right? But if you know this kind of very basic but important laws, then even though you kicked out, you can say what is your right and you can fix the situation, which is not fair for you. Okay, your safety at workplace is really, really important. So by the law, you can refuse to do a task your employer gives you if you think it's dangerous for you or someone else, which means your boss asks you, okay, step up on that chair and then fix the light. They can ask you because they are boss. But if you think the chair looks very dangerous and I do not have any information about how to change the light bulb, and I'm afraid and I think it looks very dangerous for me and it's going to be dangerous for other people, then you can say no. Not because, because your boss saying you do not need to listen to everything. That's the main point, okay? Based on the safety, you decide whether this is safe for you and safe for other people in workplace or not. And then you can answer to your boss's request. Okay. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if any other people did the test before and didn't have an accident, that doesn't matter. Boss can say, you know what? Whenever I ask other people, they are doing that. Who do you think you are? Are you that special? That doesn't matter. If you feel it's not safe, you can refuse it. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it. I think it's very dangerous. You have a right to say that. Okay? Workplace harassment. If someone at work is trying to make you afraid, uncomfortable, or angry, they may be harassing you. Okay? Workplace harassment is a series of comments, of actions that the person knows you do not like. So you have coworkers, and then you express that, oh, you know what? I think that sounds a little bit uncomfortable. I wish you are not comment like that anymore. You mentioned it, but they continuously saying things or doing actions that you request not to do it, then it's a harassment. Okay. And you have a right to report that to your managers or even upper boss, what's going on and how you feel. Okay, because in Canada, in workplaces, we are very restricted about that kind of workplace harassment situation. So you have a right to report and right to fix the situation. Workplace violence. This is, worse than harassment. Okay, workplace violence is anything a person does because they want to hurt you or someone else at your job. If the violence or threats happens at your job, at your workplace, it's workplace violence and your employer must try to help you. Okay, so from my own experience, one time when I talk on the phone with my client, the client got mad about the situation, not me. And then he started to say bad words. I informed him it's not me, it's about the situation. And I understand how much hard for you, but if you say bad words to me, that's not going to change the situation and you make me feel uncomfortable. I said so, but the client continuously saying bad words, so I have to inform him. I'm going to hang up the phone. And then I hang up the phone and I report to my manager. Okay, you can just keep in your mind, but in workplace violence, because that kind of verbal violence also can be harmful for me, I just call my manager right away and then report the situation. And I told her what I did. And she offered me, oh, Leah, are you okay? Do you feel okay? If not, it was around 11 o'clock. And she said that, oh, you can just wrap up the work. You don't need to work anymore. Just take a rest of the rest of the day. That's what her decision to accommodate me. So if you don't know, then you cannot take your right in workplaces when something bad thing happened to you. So what I recommend you is that it's always better you know what is your right at workplace, and then you can be ready for many different situations, right? Discrimination. Okay, discrimination happens when someone refuses to hire you, treats you unfairly, or fires you because of your race, ethnic background, religion, your age, your disability, your sex, your sexual orientation, because you are pregnant, or because you have children. If the employer refuses you, that's a discrimination. That's big no by law. Okay, so if you experience these kind of things, oh, because you are Asian, I don't want to hire you. Or, oh, because you are a girl, I think you are weak, you are not suitable for this work. Those kind of things you can report. Okay, and the employer or interviewer, they are not supposed to mention, or they are not supposed to make that excuse not to hire you. Okay. These are the resources that you can take a look when something happens at your workplace while you're working. Or if you want to know further information about your rights at work, you can take these websites anytime. So there is a Steps to Justice, the Workers Action Center, Legal Clinic, Pro Bono Ontario. Pro Bono means free. Okay, Pro Bono Ontario is free law services. Okay, and then Ontario Legal Information Center, Human Rights Legal Support Center. These are all the community center or law centers that support the individual workers who are experiencing any topics that I covered today, okay, including payment or, vacation or many different kinds of, violence or discrimination, all those kind of things. If you think you need someone help your situation, then you can contact one of these resources and then you can be assisted by them. Okay, and these are mostly very basic and kind of free information so that you can have useful information for free. Okay, if you have any further question related to today's session, you can contact me back anytime with this email address, lju@tno-toronto.org. Then I can provide you one-on-one session, or I can answer back to you by email as soon as I find the information that you're looking for. If you have any other questions, please, using chat box, you can ask, or you can turn on your mic and then ask the questions. I'm a ceramic worker partnership with George Brown College, and then I have many different online sessions. So today I running rights at work, but next week Friday I'm gonna run the session related to the rental rights. Okay, so if you are tenants, what kind of rights that you have, I'm gonna give you general information. And next month I'm gonna talk about tax system. Okay, so many people think that, because I'm an international student, I don't need to do tax report when other people does, but that's not true, okay? There is a reason why you have to know about the tax system and do your personal tax, because there is a benefit for international student, even though you are international student and you have a zero income, but government try to give you a certain amount back to you because you are paying rent in Canada and you are buying stuff, right? HST, GST, it's all taxes that you are paying because you are live here. So that's the more than enough reason that you have a right to get some benefit from the government. So I'm going to talk about and teach you certain things related to the tax on November. So if you get the email saying that there is a tax session or rights at work and tenants right, those kind of things, please participate and learn what is your right and what is your benefit from it. Okay, there is a message. Okay, Risa asked me a question. What do you do when the client keeps coming back and continuously harasses you, but your boss does nothing? Wow, really? Okay. Number two, I have worked as a part-time in a clinic 21 hours week. I didn't had break even after almost 2 years. I didn't have a paid vacation. Is that right? Okay. Did you get the contract? I wonder if you get the work contract or not. And let's see. If you don't mind, would you please send me email and book a one-on-one session so that I can guide you better and more? Okay, they didn't give me any contract. Okay, I'm so sorry to hear that, and you are having a very difficult situation at work. So I'm not a professional law person related to the work law, but what I can do is I can search and I can help you to find which agency can help you better, so that you can have some kind of discussion and support from any other law agencies. So please contact me. And Jian, as an international student on a visa, are we allowed to work more than 20 hours per week now? As I understand, there was a certain period of time that government removed that work time limit for student, international student. I'm not quite sure they put the regulation back or not. But when I checked on July, August, it seems like there's no limit because of the COVID. The Canada did not have a lot of workers. So the government decided that even though international student with a study permit, they do not have any work hour limit. But I think you have to check on if you Google it, like international student work hour on Ontario, like that, then you will find out certain information. Okay. And Michelle says that as an international student and still not employed, just now you mentioned that government will give back to students because when we buy things, there are taxes that we needed to pay. Okay. So you are asking me, as an international student, I'm qualified to get some government tax refund? My answer is yes. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that even though your status in Canada is not like a permanent resident or citizenship, in tax purpose, if you live in Canada a long period of time, because you're a student, you're gonna stay here at least 1 hour, at least 6 months for your semester, right? And then 1 hour or 2 years, right? Then you are counted as a tax purposed living person in Canada, okay? And then those kind of people, when you are report your tax between February to April, that's a personal tax report season, okay? If you are reporting your tax during that time, then government calculate how much money you can get or how much money you owe. In your case, I don't think you owe any money because you are an international student and you do not work here. But, they calculate. So I do not know exact amount and it's hard to say how much is you're going to get. But anyways, if you do tax report, there's a certain process you're going to get benefit, which is related to you. I'm an immigrant, okay, and I work. I have 3 children. So my benefit is different than you. You are international student, you are single, and you do not have any work income, then your benefit gonna be HST and GST refund. My benefit gonna be HST, GST refund plus CTB, which is child tax benefit, okay? Because I have children and I'm married. So depends on your personal situation, whether you're single, whether you are have children or not, your benefit gonna be different. But as long as you are doing your tax report, then there is a possibility that you're gonna get the certain benefit from you. And because you're international student, you guys pay the school. What is that? You are paying school fee, right? So that money is not cash back, but it's gonna be credited to your tax history. So I think you have to come to my tax session, okay? This is gonna be very long story, but very important and very helpful for all the international students. So I'm gonna stop here And November 7th, it's gonna be my tax session. I'm gonna explain the tax system in Canada and why you have to do your personal tax and what's gonna be your benefit if you report your tax. Okay, so please participate my next month's session, Michelle. We need to work to report the tax to the government? No, even though you are not working, still you are qualified to, and that's your responsibility to do the tax report, okay? If not employed, need to report to the government tax also. I have children as well. Where do I register for the taxes? Okay, all the information is gonna be coming soon, okay? You have a bunch of time because our tax season starting from next year, February, okay? So before that's why I'm running tax session on November so that you guys know in advance and be ready for tax report for next year. Okay. So Esther asking, I came in December 22nd, 2022. Is it too late to fill for tax? Okay, Esther. So you don't need to rush because it's only a few days for 2022. 2022 tax report already done, okay? And then, but 2023 current year tax report gonna be start from next year, February. So when you are doing your 2023 tax report next year, you can do 2022 one in the same time. So you don't need to worry for now. Okay. I know a lot of people are very interested in tax. So I'm pretty much sure that it's going to be very helpful for all of international students. So please come to tax session and then learn information and do things for you and for your family. Okay. Any other question related to today's session? All the information seems like general, but if you don't know, then there is a possibility that you're gonna be overworked or you are not gonna be paid properly. So always it's better you know what is your right, what is your responsibility, especially if you come to Canada recently, right? So thank you so much. If you do not have any further questions, I think we can finish today's session. And today, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to repeat the Right at Work, same session again. So if you know your friends and classmates who are also international students come to Canada recently and don't know about your rights at work, then recommend them to join. Okay. If they contact me by email, I can send a link to them before 1 o'clock. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for participating, for your time. I hope that you have a great day today and see you next time.